Hi everyone, I've spoken many times on my little channel about how the media are so biased against Jeremy Corbyn and towards the establishment, not just in the print media, and it's terrible in the print media, but also on the broadcast media as well. And just to highlight how bad it's getting, this was tweeted out the other day by the artist Taxi Driver, who is just hilarious. His little podcast from his car are so funny, and he brings up some really important issues as well that we should be aware of in it. Good guy. He tweeted this out, and this is a statement from a Corbyn supporter who has been on the receiving end of this demonization of the media. He said this: "On Tuesday, my wife and her friend were queuing to attend an event where Jeremy Corbyn was to speak at Stoke City. I was already in the event, and a Sky reporter, Lewis Goodall, approached them and asked my wife barbed questions about Jeremy Corbyn. During the questions, she mistakenly said that Jeremy had won the Nobel Peace Prize. The reporter immediately jumped on this. She queried it with her friend, but did correct herself by saying she knew that he'd received a Peace Prize recently. He had. But a lot of people hear Peace Prize and they just instinctively say Nobel. I don't know whether they realise it was named after Alfred Nobel, who'd probably be spinning in his grave had he known that Obama had won it after dropping a bomb every 20 minutes for his 8-year presidency. And people like Henry Kissinger is on that list as well. But I digress. It was just a Peace Prize he won. The press didn't cover it, of course. The Sun didn't even mention it. The BBC rather didn't even mention it on their website. But he did win a Peace Prize. It just wasn't the Nobel Peace Prize. It was a mistake, simple mistake. A lot of people who are not up on, current affairs or the news would make that mistake. I think it's fair to say that. Continues. After the interview, she went to the reporter and specifically told them that she didn't want the footage of her used. She didn't like the questions, tone, or the way he reacted to her mistake. Lo and behold, not only did they use the piece, but edited it down so it only contained her saying Jeremy had won the Nobel Peace Prize. She's the red-haired lady on the Sky News clip. I couldn't find this clip, and you're about to find out why. We've had to contact the head of Sky News with our complaint and have also complained to Ofcom. The clip was pulled from the website and the news. By this time, it was all over Twitter and Facebook, and you can imagine the fun the trolls had with it. It then showed up on the Sun website, and the Sun, gleefully I imagine, tweeted links to it. You can imagine the damage this has caused my wife. She was absolutely distraught, not only by the comments about herself, but by the fact that she was being used as the poster girl for the cult of Corbyn and the damage it was bringing to Jeremy and the Labour membership. I found these clips, this stuff in the Sun and elsewhere. You're about to find out where else it went. I won't show it in this video because I'm not going to highlight her. I don't think that's fair. As you can imagine, we were bombarded by calls with friends and families who had recognised her from the clip, so much so that she had to post an explanation and acknowledgement on Facebook. Folks were obviously shocked and appalled by how nasty she had been treated, and there were many posts of support. Good, I'm glad there were. We thought things were calming down, and she had received an email from Sky clarifying that it would no longer be used and wouldn't be used in the future. Last night, we were away at a friend's wedding, so we didn't know this until this morning, that the last leg had showed the clip as part of a Cult of Corbyn piece. For those in America, the last leg is like a comedy news show that airs on a Friday, I think, with Adam Hills and a couple of other people. It's quite popular as well, that channel, that show is. She's in absolute bits again, this continues. She told me she wanted to disappear forever. I had to plead with her to come for breakfast at the hotel this morning. Since arriving home, I've had to accompany her on a visit to buy hair dye as she's anxious she'll be recognised, and she's still so distraught about how she's been used in an attack on Jeremy Corbyn. Ironically, the last leg was one of her favourite programmes that she liked because it championed equality and fairness. But once again, it seems that the media are hell-bent in fulfilling their agenda, and they do not care who they crush in the process. I'm sat here looking at my passionate, articulate, caring wife, who has been reduced to a shell of herself due to a 7-second clip, and all down to the fact that she mistakenly said one word incorrectly. Now, the media obviously do not care about this. They are, as he rightly said there, they are hell-bent on demonizing Jeremy Corbyn, and they do not care whose life they ruin in the process. This is why people are moving to independent media more, because they know all they're getting is spin and bullshit and propaganda from the mainstream media. There are no exceptions in the UK. No exceptions. They are all doing it. They all have an agenda. My only agenda is the truth, which is why people are coming to me. Yes, I have an opinion on things, and I am a supporter of Corbyn, but I'm not going to, sugarcoat the truth. The truth is the truth. This is why they're coming to independent media. You may remember when last week when those children were killed by the Yemeni bomb, or by the bomb in Yemen that was made by Lockheed Martin, I think it was. CNN have actually started covering this. MSNBC have done a segment on it. CNN are actually running with this story and are doing their job, the job that they should have been doing all along. And the reason they're doing that is because independent media and independent voices have been so loud that they cannot ignore it anymore. They cannot ignore this war in Yemen. And it's starting to get the same over here as well. More and more people are becoming aware of the way the media are propagandizing the public by being silent on our involvement in this war in Yemen. Remember, this war in Yemen would never be able to take place without the UK's and the US's support. It would never be able to take place. Saudi Arabia would not be able to do their missions in the air without the UK's and the US's permission. We are letting it happen. It's a war by proxy. And people are getting loud, and now the media are having to cover it. And if we're loud about this sort of thing as well, the demonization of Corbyn and the bias and the demonization of supporters, then they're going to stop doing it as well. We've just got to be loud enough. So share this as widely as you can and tell other people about how you're disgusted with the media and the way they are treating people who, let's face it, they just want a change in the country. That's all. They just want a change from austerity. They just want a better life and a better prospects for their families and their children. That's all. It's not a cult of Corbyn. Don't let them make you think or question it. It's not a cult of Corbyn. It's people who are coming together and again excited about a movement and about a better future. People of all ages, from teenagers through to people who are again pensions. And they hate it and it scares them, which is why they're attacking Corbyn at every opportunity they have, why they're smearing him as a Russian Kremlin stooge or a Czech spy, they called him. And obviously this ridiculous anti-Semitic smear against him, which is now constant. But now they're going after his supporters as well. This is not on. We've got to stop it. The only way we're going to stop it is by being as loud as possible in our condemnation of what they're doing. If you enjoyed this video, please click the bell down there and subscribe so you get a notification of next time I drop a video. Also, I can't do this without your help, so if you can afford it and you enjoy my videos, please support the channel by subscribing to my Patreon. Link is down there. You can do it for as little as $1 a month, and it really does help. If you can't afford it, that's fine. Please share my work and talk to other people about the issues that I bring up. Thanks very much for your support. Until next time, peace and take care.